Teacher Neth Explains channel. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and leave a comment. So this time, we will be dealing with solving rational equations, particularly addition and subtraction. And to solve rational equations, you should know how to simplify rational expressions. And the key to simplifying rational expressions is to know how to simplify fractions. So let's have examples in simplifying fractions and in simplifying rational expressions.
As in the case of 4 over 14, you cannot just simply slash 4 simply because both numerator and denominator have 4. It is not the common digit that is cancelled out. It's a common misconception. Actually, cancellation comes from the concept of dividing a number by itself, which is of course equal to 1. So going back to 4 over 14, you'll think of a common factor of 4 and 14 to simplify it to lowest term. That is, 4 over 14 equals, the factors of 4 are 2 and 2, since 2 times 2 equals 4. Factors of 14 are 7 and 2, since 7 times 2 equals 14. Now the common factor between 4 and 14 is 2, so we can cancel this out. Hence, what is left is 2 over 7, since 2 divided by 2 is 1. That's 2 over 7 times 1 equals 2 over 7. So it is clear that what we cancel out is the common factor until no common factor is left. That is, what we cancel out is the greatest common factor. In like manner, to simplify x plus 1 all over x squared minus 1, we do not simply cancel out both x and both 1, since it's not the common term that is being cancelled out, but again, the common factor. So in x plus 1 equals x squared minus 1, the numerator is still x plus 1, and then we'll factor out x squared minus 1. Factors of x squared are x and x, while factors of 1 are 1 and 1. Now since it's the difference between squares, I hope you can still recall how to factor out difference between two squares, the signs will now become negative and positive, or minus and plus signs. Now, the common factor between them is x plus 1. So we will cancel out x plus 1. X plus 1 divided by x plus 1 is equal to 1. Okay, take note, the numerator is 1, will now become 1. It's not 0. Okay? So, it's equal to 1 over x minus 1. So, the technique is to factor and factor and factor until no factor can be factored further. That is, get the prime factors. Okay? Now, in 1 over x minus 1, can we cancel out these ones? Absolutely no, because it's the common factor that is being cancelled out.
So remember, in simplifying rational expressions, we factor out and we cancel the common factors. And that will be useful in solving rational equations.
For example, we have 1 over x plus 3 equals 3. This is a rational equation since it involves a fraction and both numerator and denominator are polynomials. To solve this, or to find the value of the variable, the goal is to eliminate the denominator. To do so, multiply both sides of the equation by the LCD, or least common denominator. Remember, in getting the LCD, we consider the prime factors. So, in 1 over x plus 3 equals 3, we all know that we have 1 here as the denominator of 3. Now, to solve for the LCD, look at the denominators x plus 3 and 1. Since they are both non-factorable anymore, then the LCD is simply their product, 1 times x plus 3, and any number multiplied by 1 is equal to itself. So the LCD is x plus 3. Now after getting the LCD, we have to multiply both sides of the rational equation by the derived LCD. Then, x plus 3 divided by x plus 3 is 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. Now, on the right side, we have 3 times the quantity of x plus 3. That is, we have to distribute 3 to x and to another 3. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, the goal is to be able to solve for the value of x, and the plan is to move all terms or that term with x variable to one side of the equation and to move all other terms or the constants to another side of the equation. Now, let us say the plan here is to move this 3x to the left side and to move constants, including this one, to the right side. So that is, by addition property of equality or APE, we will subtract. To move this one to the left side, to the right side, we'll subtract 1 from it. Same thing we have to do on the right side. And then to move 3x, this 3x, to the left side, we have to subtract 3x from the right side. Also, same thing we have to do on the left side. Okay? So that's by APE. Now, 1 minus 1 is 0. So what's left is negative 3x equals 3x minus 3x is 0. So what's left is 9 minus 1, 8. Now we have negative 3x equals 8. Again, the goal is to solve for the value of x, and that means the numerical coefficient of x must become positive 1. Now it's still negative 3. By multiplication property of equality, that negative 3 can become 1 because when you multiply negative 1/3 to both sides of the equation, this negative 3 will become positive 1. Or the shortcut is to simply divide both sides by the existing numerical coefficient of x, which in this case is negative 3. Okay? So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1x, or simply x. And positive divided by negative is negative 8 over 3. And that's already simplified. Therefore, the value of x is negative 8 over 3. Now let us check whether x is really equal to negative 8 over 3. So let's see. Will 1 over negative 8 over 3 plus 3 be equal to 3? Okay, what did we do? We just substituted the derived value of x to x of this given rational equation. So we now have this. Then 1 over, now look at the denominator. As you can recall in your elementary math, it's addition of dissimilar fractions. Why are they dissimilar? Because they have different denominators. We have 3 and 1 as the denominators, and they're different. So what's the rule in adding dissimilar fractions? We have to look for the LCD, and the LCD is 3. LCM of 3 and 1 is 3. Now again, let's have a recall on your elementary math. So for the numerator, what we do is divide the LCD by the denominator of the fraction. That's 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then multiply it by the numerator. 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. Okay, so it's negative 8. Next, 3 divided by 1 is 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so positive 9. Next, equals 3. Will that be equal to 3? So 1 over negative 8 plus 9 is 1/3 equals 3. Next, this is now like dividing a fraction by another fraction. Again, this is a recall of your elementary math. So the numerator 1 is what we call the dividend, and the denominator 1/3 is what we call the divisor. Now, in dividing a fraction by another fraction, we simply copy the dividend, and then we get the reciprocal of the divisor, or that is, interchange the numerator and the denominator. So we have 3 over 1, then proceed to multiplication. Next, 1 divided by 1 is 1, times 3 is 3. 3 is equal to 3. So the value of x is really equal to negative 8 over 3. Next example, we have negative 5 over x plus 1 over x minus 2 equals negative 7 over x plus 6. Again, first step is to look for the LCD. So look at the denominators. The denominators are x, x minus 2, and x plus 6. Again, they are non-factorable anymore. So for the LCD, we will just simply multiply all these 3 denominators. Next, after getting the LCD, just like what we did in the first example, after getting the LCD, we multiplied the LCD to both sides of the equation. Okay, so multiply the LCD to both sides of the equation. Next, we have x divided by x, or first, we're going to distribute this LCD to negative 5 over 6 and to 1 over x minus 2. Okay, same thing on the right side. We're going to multiply this negative 7 over x plus 6 by the LCD. Okay, so again, negative or x divided by x is 1. So what's left is, wait, so what's left is negative 5 times x minus 2 times x plus 6 plus, where did we get that plus sign? From here. So plus x minus 2 divided by x minus 2 is 1. So what's left is 1 times x plus 6. Okay, where did we get that 1? From here, from this one. Okay, so plus equals, how about for the right side? That is x plus 6 divided by x plus 6 is 1. So what's left is negative 7 times x minus 2. Next, we have to distribute negative 5 to x and to negative 2 before multiplying it by x plus 6. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10 times the binomial x plus 6 plus 1 times x is simply x, and then distribute this x to x and to positive 6. So x times x is x squared, and then x times positive 6 is positive 6x equals negative 7 times x is negative 7x. Then distribute negative 7x to x, and to negative 2. So negative 7 times x is negative 7x squared. And then negative 7x times negative 2 is positive 14x. Okay? Next, this is multiplying a binomial negative 5x plus 10 by another binomial x plus 6. So distribute negative 5x to x and to 6, and then distribute 10 to x and to 6. Okay, negative 5 first. Negative 5x times x is negative 5x squared. Negative 5x times 6 is negative 30x. And then how about 10 times x? 10x. 10 times 6, 60. Then plus x squared plus 6x equals, simply copy all the terms from the right side. Next, we're going to combine like terms. Which are like terms? Negative 5x squared and x squared. We're on the left side first. So these two are like terms on the left side, combine them. Negative 5x squared plus x squared is negative 4x squared. Next, which else are like terms? We have negative 30x, positive 10x, and positive 6x. Combine them. Negative 30x plus 10x is negative 20x, plus 6x is negative 14x. Then we will simply copy 60 equals. Okay. And then by APE, we have negative 4x squared plus 7x squared minus 14x plus 60 equals 0. Nothing is left on the right side. Since by APE, they are now they are all written now on the left side. So again, let's combine like terms. These are like terms, and this again is another pair of like terms. So negative 4x squared plus 7x squared is 3x squared. Negative 14x minus 14x is negative 28x plus 60 equals 0. And then since this is a trinomial, we're going to factor it out. Factors of 3x squared are 3x and x. Then factors of 60 are 10 and 6, can be 10 and 6. So this is done by trial and error because it's not only 10 times 6 which will be equal to 60. There are still other factors of 60. So what you're going to do in this case is trial and error. Now how about the signs of 10 and 6? Since this is positive, 60 is positive, then signs of 10 and 6 must be the same. It can either be both positive or both negative. So in order to decide, we're going to look at the sign of the middle term. It's negative 28x. It's negative, therefore both of them should be negative. Okay? So by zero property of equality, we have 3x minus 10 equals 0 and x minus 6 equals 0. Okay? Then by APE, we have 3x equals 10 and then divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So what's left is x equals 10 over 3. Okay? 10 over 3. And then, for x minus 6 equals 0, by APE, we have x equals 6. So, values of x are 10 over 3 and positive 6. But then you also have to check whether they really are values of the given rational equation, just like what we did in the checking of the first example. Next example, we have 4 minus 2x minus 5 all over x minus 1 equals 14 over x plus 1. Now, this involves subtraction of rational expressions. Again, eliminate denominators by multiplying both sides of the equation by the LCD. So, what is the LCD? So, let's take a look at the denominators. Of course, the denominator of 4 is 1. Then we have x minus 1 and x plus 1. Therefore, the LCD is 1 times the product of these three. 1 times x minus 1 times x plus 1. Now, after getting the LCD, again, we have to multiply both sides of the equation by the derived LCD. And that's it. Next, we have to distribute this LCD by each of these terms. We have two terms here. We have 4 and then negative 2x minus 5 all over x minus 1. Okay? So to 4 first, distribute the LCD to 4. So we have 4 times x minus 1 times x plus 1. Next, distribute the LCD or multiply the LCD by the second term, by this second term. So the sign of our LCD is positive. Positive. Positive times this negative is equal to negative. And then, x minus 1 divided by x minus 1 is 1. And what's left is 2x minus 5 times x plus 1. Next, for the right side, x plus 1 divided by x plus 1 is 1. So what's left is 14 times x minus 1. And then, distribute 4 to x and to negative 1. That's how we multiply 4 by x minus 1. So we have 4x minus 4. And then multiply the product by the binomial x plus 1. And then simply copy the negative sign or the minus sign. And then we're going to multiply 2x minus 5 by another binomial x plus 1. So just like what we're doing before, we're going to distribute 2x to x and to positive 1, and negative 5 to x and to positive 1. So 2x times x is 2x squared. Take note, it's very important to put parentheses here, okay? Because later on, you will see the importance. So 2x times x is 2x squared. Then 2x times positive 1 is positive 2x. And then negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And then negative 5 times 1 is negative 5 equals. Distribute 14 to x and to negative 1. So we have 14x minus 14. Okay. Next, we have to multiply this binomial 4x minus 4 by x plus 1. So again, this is getting the product of two binomials. So distribute 4x to x and to positive 1, and negative 4 to x and to positive 1. So 4x times x is 4x squared, and then 4x times 1 is 4x. Then negative 4 times x is negative 4x, and then negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Now, this time, we have to distribute negative sign. Actually, this is negative 1. This is negative 1. We have to distribute negative 1 to each of these terms inside the parentheses. Okay? So that is why it's very necessary that we include this parentheses. Okay? So, before distributing negative 1 to all those terms inside, let us simplify it first. Let's combine like terms. So, which are like terms? We have 2x minus 5x. It's negative 3x. That's it. So, negative 1 times 2x squared is negative 2x squared. And then negative 1 times negative 3x is positive 3x. And then negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. Then let us combine like terms on the left side. So which are like terms? 4x squared and negative 2x squared is positive 2x squared. Then which else are like terms? 4x minus 4x is 0. Then we have 3x. So what is left is 3x. And then constants, we have constants, negative 4 and positive 5. Negative 4 plus 5 is positive 1. And then by APE, this negative 14x minus 14, or this 14x minus 14 on the right side, will now become negative 14x plus 14 equals 0. Then let's combine like terms. We have 2x squared, and then like terms are 3x and negative 14x. When combined, is negative 11x. Another like terms, another pair of like terms are positive 1 and positive 14. When combined, it's positive 15 equals 0. So we now have the trinomial 2x squared minus 11x plus 15. So let us factor it out. So just like what we did in the previous example is trial and error. So factors of 2x squared are 2x and x. Factors of positive 15 are negative 5 and negative 3. Okay? 5 and 3 are factors of 15. And then how did we come up with the negative signs? Since it's positive, sign of 15 is positive, then we assume that signs of 5 and 3 must be the same. And then look at the sign of the middle term. It's negative. So both of these are negative. Negative 5 times negative 3. Okay? And then by zero property, that is 2x minus 5 equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0. Again, that is through zero property of equality. For 2x minus 5 equals 0, by APE, we have 2x equals 5. Then divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Hence, x equals 5 halves. Then for x minus 3 equals 0, we have x equals 3. Take note that it's very important to always do the checking right after deriving the value of the unknown variable, because sometimes there are those which we call as extraneous roots, or those values which cannot be solutions to the rational equations. So right after solving for the value of x or for the value of the unknown, always check.
So hope you have learned how to simplify rational expressions and how to add and subtract rational equations. Until next time!